Hello, folks, we're back. That's right, not too long of a wait for us to get back in and get underway with game number 3 between the sides of Lowtac and TNC Predators. And that's right, TNC Predators did even up the score, 1-1. Everything to play for, and, well, some reflectively so regularly occurring heroes appearing. And then one that keeps getting banned, but has snuck through this time. That's right. We got ourselves a Dazzle!
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 Ah, yes. You can actually do that voice. Nice. You should try that instead of Ogre Magi.
Why? Just do all the voices, you know?
So, here we have TNC getting their favorite opening combo, really. And I think that's why they let the Dazzle through. They put the... Let's see. They have to ban the Magnus always. I think they're putting the Rubik in their bans now. Because if you make the Dazzle sneak through here and Lowtac takes it, you get your Lich Brewmaster. And that is the opening they've really wanted all this time. Lowtac also wants the Brew, but they have to do with, well, the backup option, which is Centaur.
Indeed, they do get the Centaur here, which is, yeah, it's kind of a weird comparison. Was one by everything being reflected right now as Predators. Well, usually Brewmaster is Lowtac's hero, and usually Centaur is TNC's hero throughout these qualifiers.
Well, I mean, Brewmaster, they really get a... They're going 50-50 on that one, I think. But Lowtac has been mainly running it for Ohio, whereas for TNC, it's very much a Tim's hero with Rior as a backup. And this Centaur here, I'm curious if Net uses that, or if it's also purely a Ohio hero. And I gotta say, if it's Ohio and he's playing a Centaur, I really want to see more active play out of that guy, because I've been a bit grumpy about him in the previous Lowtac series yesterday, about his build-up being slow and delaying the game. And I think that the previous map as well, he could have been way more active. So if he's got a Centaur, he'd better be on his game.
Yeah, that's going to be the catch for Lowtac. It's just not getting caught sleeping on the job because they took that early lead last game. The laning, like Lowtac's laning is very good. Very, very good. But they seem to struggle, I'd say, with the transition from that into the mid-game and like applying the correct amounts of pressure. And that is somewhere TNC will exploit you.
I think also they are a bit, just like Detonator before, they are at this point where they could reasonably win over a team that has been extremely dominant. And if you're not used to winning against a team, it is way harder to finish a job than when it's a team that, you know, you're going 50-50 with in scrims, or perhaps even like 70-30. They know they always lose to TNC. That's just, so it's in their minds. And you gotta snap out of that. And I'm not sure who on Lowtac would be the person to say, alright, this is the time we do it. This is, you know, it's different now.
That's a big ask. Especially with TNC already looking like a stable draft has been established. They have the Lich Brewmaster open, and we said they want it so badly. And now they have the Terrorblade, king of the carries in many people's eyes, even after the changes, the tweaks, the constant adaptations of the hero.
Yes.
Because, you know, nerfs is an unfair statement considering the way IG heroes are powerful right now.
Okay, so that is a Net Centaur and
Looks
an
that way.
Ohio Darkseer. And I mean, I like it more because it suits him more, but at the same time, it means that once again we're going to see not too much action out of Ohio. Like, even with the Helm of the Dominator, I see him more like keeping the creep in that lane and sticking there.
Why would you put a Helm with Dominator? He's already got a Centaur. He saved himself 2,000 gold right there.
Where do I apply for a different play-by-play?
They are both Centaurs. I mean, you're getting the same effect, right? Come on. You're just going to search this big pony.
So what you're saying is that Net's going to put on shared control?
And just let go. Just goes, alright. You know what happened at the end of the game?
Desk.
At the end of the game, last game, Ohio's like, I could have won that game for us, Net. I could have won it. And Net's just gone, okay. He's just pushed himself back.
Sure, big boy.
It's like, take over.
All yours. And yeah, we saw the Darkseer attempt against Gabby's. Oh.
Hello. Are we
Hello.
getting a core disruptor?
Okay, is this like the exact same draft as TNC played against Detonator? Because I feel like it is. Yes, this is exactly the same picks
So we're going to see
as
a
the
monkey
first
game.
game against Detonator. And Detonator actually also opened with a Dazzle. Their second pick was an anti-mage, but then third pick
was the Darkseer.
And TNC had Lich, Brew, Terrorblade, Disruptor, which was a core Disruptor, by the way.
Yes,
and in that order.
And they have the final pick as well. And in that game, they went with the Monkey King, which was the perfect matchup. So now they can just observe and go, does the MK work here? Because the tempo it provided them, the ramp up was absurd between the Disruptor, the constant ganks, and Monkey King's one of those type of heroes that uses him very well, right? It's one hero and then another one because of Glimpse.
There is one big difference here, though, which is that the previous time I handed them the draft win off of the fact that they just counterpicked 2 cores, but there was an anti-mage in the first 2 that time, and this is a Morphling into the Terrorblade.
Yes, Morphling does get the advantages of just metamorphing up, so he technically morphs.
So, Morph is also pretty good against the Disruptor. You're not as bothered by things like the Static Storm as long as you've got your Morph going before it happens. Being glimpsed back is an annoyance, but I think you should be able to dodge the glimpse with the waveform.
I think it's feasible. It's like Bio Strike, right?
Yeah.
It's like the same logic is if you get it point perfect, you can't. Well, actually, I think it's much wider for waveform. It's why Kunkkas really struggle against Morphling.
Yes. So I'd say that's a really strong carry pickup for low tech there, and of course it's the Raven Morphling. So I'm not as bothered now by the Darkseer into Terrorblade pick because we saw that not work before in that same match.
Yes.
There's something else here that I want to point out that a lot of people, when I work with teams, especially teams that are a bit of a lower level, and I advise them, hey, stick to a couple of heroes and just get really good at a certain type of playing. They're like, yeah, but then we don't have diversity. Well, look at this.
Well, look at OG.
Do you need diversity?
Just look at OG. It's a perfect example. Like 3 or 4 heroes, just know them freaking well, and you can win TI. I'm pretty sure you can win the ESL qualifier with 3 or 4 heroes that you play really well.
It's true. And this is, of course, not... You can't just randomly pick 3 or 4, like the 3 or 4 best heroes of all of your players, because it's guaranteed that there's going to be some different styles in those, and there's going to also be just ways that those heroes don't fit together. But if you make sure to train a couple of heroes that do a couple of, don't have the same vulnerabilities but perform roughly the same function, then you can play almost the same thing every game without getting outdrafted by a team with much more flexibility, because Lowtech has been drafting way more flexible than TNC.
Most definitely. That's been one of the big catches for them, of course. Picking a hero like Morphling, it gives you a... And this is kind of a thing I want to hit on, is like the Morphling, very good late game, can match up against the Terrorblade, and this Darkseer pick fit with what they already had, and it makes sure that there was no risk of TNC picking it up, because we've seen this, I think it was especially Liquid in the first major qualifiers. They got felled by KheZu on a Darkseer because they were just basically stealing Miracle Morphling, and their illusion was their new carry.
It's good stuff. But I do want to say that KheZu Darkseer is...
That's something else.
It is something else. I've seen that man win games on his own.
Oh yeah, I've watched plenty where he flipped lane after lane. And it'll be interesting to see if they can do it in this type 1, because it should be Ohio on the Darkseer.
It should be.
And he was, he's someone that we know can do a lot. It's just a matter of if he's aware of it this time, because last game he was a little bit complacent. The OD to round it out, though, this is high tempo mid game. Like low tack, the ramp up. OD against this lineup, not terrible.
Yeah, and they're making use of the fact that TNC has banned the Lina, because Lina is one of the most excellent ways to deal with that pesky imprisonment. You just wait until the countdown's done, and you make sure you throw your Light Strike Array on top of that.
And instead, you get great value out of this, because you actually look at what they're up against. Well, Chain Frost, you can ruin the bounces, and then Disrupt the Glimpses.
You can ruin the Glimpse. Also...
Actually, did they... I can't remember if they fixed that. Does it still work, or did they make it so you come out? I know there was some interactions that got changed.
You might come out at the Glimpse location now.
Possibly.
Let me check that.
Because I feel like that happened a while back. Something did happen, because I think one stage it worked one way, and then got changed the other.
This is... I should have called this earlier in the draft, but I was busy.
We were busy just kind of like talking about
things,
Morphling, getting all the KheZu.
Great mid matchup. against the morph we've seen before, although the morph does start to ramp up a little bit later. This is also the kind of hero that messes with the OG so much. And they have the double proxy tower push now, which we've seen Detonator do really well with before. So now it's Lotaq who have the tower pushing problem.
Yeah, I like to call it, this is what I call the no CS stalemate. One of you gets Astral, the other one gets Decrepified, everyone is unhappy, and everyone is not farming. Of course, the difference is, like, when I look at this lane, I give an advantage to the Pugna, because, like, I'm looking at it from the perspective that, for me, we talked about this previously when we saw OD, you have to get very close to Astral someone. And the moment you commit to Astraling him, Pugna is just going to wave his little wand, go, I will go into this bubble for a few seconds, but that blast is going to really hurt. And when I come out, if you're still standing there,
Yep.
I'm going to drop a second one, and then you're going to be panicking. But looks like it will be a high on the Darkseer. No tricky things going on here. The Centaur is the 4 as expected.
No surprises.
Yeah, not for us, seeing as we already know about Rio Disruptor, as we've seen it before. And then Tim's on the Brewmaster. Like we said, mostly the same draft from TNC. They just changed the Monkey King for a Pugna this time.
Yeah. Lotaq should not be surprised by that Disruptor pick. I'd be very disappointed if they were. That's just not doing your research right.
Oh, it wasn't very long ago either. You know, you gotta be sitting there watching the games, getting a little preview into what TNC can do. But the real thing looking at these drafts, each side, for me, with TNC, it's all about this Pugna pick, right?
Yes.
Whereas,
much like the Monkey King before, he is the one that really needs to be making the tempo.
And the weird thing when I look at the other side, when I look on Lotaq's side of the field, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on a Darkseer to be active in this game. Like, and that's hard to do. Like, we talked about Kezu. He's a rare example of a man who does this.
Yep. And I gave my doubts about Ohio's ability to make tempo before, so now we're going to see.
We will indeed. As the game gets underway, we are ready for the third one in this best of 5 between the sides of Lotaq and TNC. TNC evened up the score. Now it's up to Lotaq to try and just slow them down, because they are ramping up. You know, after the victory against Detonators, they're going to be feeling pretty hype. These guys are so talkative with each other.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I feel the urge to join in on this chat. I think that's really not my place. They're going for the first block.
Oh, they are. Ninja Boogie, he's so deep. He's so deep in the big mess. I say deep. It's his side of the map, but they made them feel like it was not the place he should be as they circled round. Poison Touch, folks. Coming to pubs near you. Not soon. More like for a few weeks now.
Yeah, will remain in your pubs for a long time. But at least Ninja Boogie knows that all he has to do is just stay frosty.
But stay chill. Stay composed, alright? He tanked the gank so that Terrorblade didn't have to.
Mike is, at least in-game, he is very good at keeping his cool.
Most definitely. Has proven himself crucial, especially today in the games.
Oh yeah, I really want to see some more saves from this guy. I can never get enough of those.
I do like the sentry slapped down by him as well. He's just blocking his own camp because you're against a Darkseer. Like, you don't want to give him double value because he can, with the Centaur, just cut the wave and look to farm camps as well.
And this is a pretty brutal dual lane, by the way. We've seen this one in the past as well, I think. Where you put an Ion Shell on this huge tanky dude and there's nothing you can do.
He just runs at them neighing.
Yeah, he does. And it's like, what, Gabby, you're going to waste your entire first metamorphosis on me? Or what you going to do? You can just take the hits.
And the thing is, he's actually dished out a lot of damage on the Centaur already because he did take a point in the stomp for that first blood.
Yes. And now they can just go bother Ninja Boogie. Ninja Boogie is going to have a very, well, both a very boring and a very terrified time in this lane because he can't pull. He'll have to be careful to not get picked off all of the time.
The word of the day is existing, which is what Ninja Boogie would do, and that's about it. Not really much else you can do in that type of lane. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, so far, things pretty even, but Armel did take a lot of damage there. Xion looks like he did catch him. Did he catch him? No, he didn't even astral him. Armel just tanked that wave.
Yeah, he's made some decisions here, and his career is already coming back, so he's running pretty low. on the regen, and that splash is not. I wonder if Armel has played this hero a lot. Oh, they'll look at it like this.
Yeah, he's not really getting any harassment out of Qian. You don't want to give the OD a decent start here. And Lich. Alright, just casually diving the tower at not even 2 minutes into the game.
I don't want to say I told you so, but yeah, that's gonna happen.
I expected him to be further back than that.
More often.
I mean, he was under his tower, yes, but
like, we're seeing him be more forward right now because he actually, and he was like that before as well. He's expecting them to dive all the time.
And you have no real lockdown. Like, you can put out the frost armor. The shield's not going to actually necessarily protect you from that. Oh, hell. He keeps going for the Decrepifies first. He wants to get max value out of the Neverblast, which means he's never really getting them off.
Yeah, this is more like it.
That's what you need to do. Now, this is when you can actually move through, tank the creep wave, and harass effectively.
And I wonder if after that first, you know, value point in Decrep, he's actually going to put more points into the Nether Ward. It's
Dazzle. They got him bot.
Ooh.
It was brawling time. Turns out the best way to deal with Poison Touch is to murder the SOB before he can renew it.
Seems good. I like it. And I think Tim's likes that too. And it's people just underestimate the damage of Thunderstrike. It got buffed in 720. Not particularly much, but enough that it really starts ramping up with a couple of levels. And this Disruptor is at all times going to have more levels than he would. It is very deceptive.
Yeah, cool. That is the way it works. Gabby gonna cut his way out of trouble. They've already gotten back to their original shenanigans, diving the towers again. The Surge, run, pony, run. But once again, the Frost Shield comes out, and Gabby can just look to move away.
There's no way for him to fight this. Well, except that way, maybe Ninja Boogie.
No, they have no way of locking him in place. Actually, they have got the blast coming off cooldown, but while that's happening, Dazzle in the bot lane again, and Tim's in response as Raven finds one. Rio needs to be careful. You can't actually fight up against the Morphling one-on-one here.
Gabby just keeps having to tank all of these creeps. Luckily, he has got a ton of armor, but there's nothing for him to do about this Centaur Darkseer combo just killing his creeps behind his tower.
Yeah, they're busy just like going cheers and knocking salves together as they just tank it up, farm it up, and then surge in again. This is not how you want to be using your Metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis?
Metamorphi.
Maybe
Metamorphoses, right? It should be C's. I'm pretty sure C's.
I think so as well. Metamorphosen sounds very cool though. And we are in Germany after all.
I don't think that's how deciding English works.
But actually the Lich went on to the mid lane and he is.
He's being annoying. He's going, okay, Armel, let's try and get you ahead here. He's identified they are building a slight lead against Qian, and
Yamate.
Why do we look away? Yamate is just getting picked off over and over again. Tim's found a DD. Just in time for the runes as well.
Man, oh man. Like, you know, normally you'd expect, right? That's a Dazzle. He's gonna stay at range. There's no need for him to be up in the face of people all the time, but no.
This is one of those rare examples where we're watching a Dazzle be the one that is being tortured and punished here. Not a regular sight ever since 7.2 I drop. Even before 7.2 I drop.
We should have been watching that. That's very pleasant right about now. Oh, yeah, Raven's just gonna go
You're just rubbing your hands together. Dazzle's dying. Yes.
I mean, you know, I like Dazzle a lot. It's one of my most played heroes, but you can overdo it. You heard me complain about PA as well. It's not cool to play it anymore when everyone does.
Well, it's like Dragon Knight at the start of this year. You know, you can appreciate it, and then you see it too much, and you don't appreciate the people playing.
Yeah, but you know, I'm one of the people behind at least the Vega playing a Dragon Knight craze, so I'm not going to apologize for anything there. That hero is very useful.
Just like Darkseer, who is starving out this Terrorblade in a way that doesn't really cost you anything. You should just be investing in farming.
Brought their brawler in.
Yeah, they did. But the Stomp connecting on 2. Net doing a lot of damage. Ninja Boogie needs to move away. The shield does come out, but Net feeling safe. The Surge to get him out of range. Going to turn around. Ninja Boogie will go down first. Net. Oh, he can't move away. Gabby hits a little bit too hard, and Darkseer will TP away for a solo shrine.
Well, so far on the front of Ohio being active, he is being an extremely active nuisance.
Also, they did actually pick off Rio in the bot lane. Identifying that movement top, like this is the punishment. As soon as the Brewmaster TP'd up, Morphling striked in the bot lane.
So some much needed breathing room, especially for Yamate. And he TP'd back in, but he can't win this right-click battle.
Uh-oh. Kinetic field fully defensively. Adaptive strike out. Yamate gonna keep diving just to keep the poison touch going. He's like, if I die, you're coming with me. And Rio, the frost shield, that's gonna keep him alive.
Yeah, it is.
Nicely done by Ninja Boogie coming in. That sweet, sweet damage reduction.
Oh, it's so good.
Works for
And
everything.
yeah, Gabby has retreated off to the jungle. They can't hold this top lane. It's Tim's now.
Not a bad hero to stick here.
Nets and Ohio are just gonna dive again.
I say not a bad hero before this happens. But the XP would be good. I don't think he's gonna get that though. Double Edge coming out, trying to move away with the Drunken Brawler, but the vacuum back makes sure that he will be going down.
He did climb on his barrel at the end there, but
You could hear it even after he
I
died.
think it was empty.
That was the haunting spirit of a very dead Brewmaster just dancing. And they can actually just push in now. Darkseer is good at this. With the Helm Dominator build, you can actually just take towers which are left alone to your own devices. And we talked about this. When a Terrorblade's forced back to the jungle, your immediate focus shouldn't be, we need to chase him through. Just, we need to close down wherever he farms by taking away his towers.
I think it is... They're taking this tower at the right time. Rior is gonna get 6 soon, and after he gets 6, he's gonna start fighting. No way he sticks to that lane. His ult is way too valuable, and he's got so much damage output with that Thunderstrike. So, they are chasing Gabby into the jungle here.
Yeah. They're trying to fight back against this though. Tim's just giving one little tap with the crit. Net just zoning them out though. Especially with the Satyr Grape.
Ohio really messing with him. So yeah, I'd say we got Ohio a game, and he's waiting on the bot lane right now. He's waiting.
Oh, the gaze coming in on the Raven. The crab fired up, needs to be careful, starts to morph through the strength, going to turn around Ninja Boogie down to half HP. Darkseer lingering on the side, doesn't want to commit. Poison Touch comes out to Armel. He'll just check his booty on his way out.
And Ohio wasn't even involved in that. He went off to the side to grab a creep.
Yeah, that was his only focus, like tops low. Need a replacement.
And now TNC just got to back off. I thought he was going to backstab them.
And now he just does this with the creep as well. Ninja Boogie forced to use the Frost Shield again. The Crepify comes out. See you later, Hellbear. That's unfortunate as Ohio. He just used the Helmet Dominator. It's on cooldown.
Yes, and Armel can deal with those creeps really easily.
He was being a little bit overconfident with that. And all the while they left Centaur top to try and just farm towards his Blink Dagger. Tim's is in the same scenario, but more likely to stop off for something like a Vlad's as opposed to going straight for the Blink.
Yes, and Net has the blink queued up, and Tim's just wants to finish his phase boots first, so a little bit more contact.
Ohio, Static Storm down. They found this Darkseer, and they'll blast through. We'll finish him off. Yamate, still no points in the Shallow Grave. We don't typically see Dazzle take any before 4, or 5 rather.
Meanwhile, look at Tim's. He's chased down Net and brought him really very low.
Net needs to be careful.
Very, very fortunate for Net.
Yeah, more things coming though. He's coming right now. He's got the Stomp. There's a Stampede forward. It's Sims. What are you doing here?
Drunken Brawler
Steals the bounty, moves away, and the Drunken Brawler, is it going to change the outcome? Trying to move across? Yes! He gets the crit. He goes down afterwards, but he spits in the face of Net. And while that's happening in the bot lane, a bigger fight occurring here.
Yep. So much damage on that Thunderstrike.
Out with the
And
Aura.
we're probably having a bit of the same scenario here as with the Rubik Pugna, although not as intense. But still, 2 of these magic damage cores together, that is brutal.
And what we're seeing here is a kind of ironic reverse of last game. Well, I say ironic, they're on the same side, right? The Radiant mid is being forced to just do whatever the Dire mid does.
Yes.
And is not working out for him right now.
And this Dazzle has to be so careful. If he shows his face for just a second too long, he's going to get glimpsed back. And everything's going to hurt.
You have to be careful. I mean, even Ohio, people just need to remember the way that Surge works now. You can actually still screw people over with the slows, as we saw there for a moment.
So now Dire has equalized the situation on the tower, so there's going to be a longer wave bouncing top, long one bouncing bottom. Tim's has been quietly farming along all this time, and honestly I would give the bot lane to Net now, because he's the least threatened, and then Ohio can move onto other lanes and push. but maybe they're looking for this bot tower?
That looks like the case. The problem with the Pugna being here, you're never going to get it. They'll just blast the creep wave and move away every time.
And they just scanned. He knows that Net is there as well.
And that's all that Pugna has to do right now, is just waste their time. The rest of them going to smoke up and look to fight, and the Terrorblade just needs to stay farming.
Yeah, and that's why Net was hugging the right side of the lane as well, because he expected that people could be coming in from the left. And his team checked, there's nobody there, so now they are the ones to wrap around.
Yep, smoke play. They get the high ground, and all of a sudden, low tack. Anyone in this jungle is in danger. Ohio moving up right now. They do see his creep. Ninja Boogie revealed. They see him? It looked close. I don't think he saw him in the fog. You'll see him now.
Very close.
Boogie's dangling, but it's so obvious. Like, there's no way a Lich is this deep without reinforcements. And now, kinetic field in, Yamate brought back, Shallowgrave comes out. He has no escape plan, though. Doesn't try for the TP away. That actually would have been his best shot.
Yeah, he should have TP'd immediately.
Like, even if they split and still get you, they split to get a kill into a dazzle.
And I forgot about Nets. They didn't check for him anymore, so he gets to cut the wave. And now Armel, he can blast that tower, but it's not going to last very long.
Just going to casually whistle as he walks up. He's still lingering around, actually.
The Terrorblade and Cliff.
He metamorphs as well. Net is still down here.
Yeah, they're looking for him, though. They're not going to let him do that again.
How greedy is he feeling? I think he's not going to.
Not particularly.
He's got his TP at the ready if he needs to be. Dazzle TPing out to the tower.
Oh, dear.
Needs to be careful to grab fire life drain.
But
Yamate. Interesting choice being made. Armel take the freebie. More TPs coming in. Morphling arriving. Metamorphosis. Still got a decent amount of duration left on it. Raven chasing out. He's like, I'm the new Terrorblade. Stampede used. Ninja Boogie stands ground. Chain Frost just bouncing around. Ohio's going to die in return. They get a favorable trade on the side of TNC. Despite it being low tax initiation on the back, they find even more as Net falls.
So he was greedy.
He was like, come on. If he did not TP out then, I don't think he was ever going to TP out.
And they're going to lose the tower as well, I think. I mean, Armel doesn't have the most mana left, so he might back off here. Yeah, they get to keep the tower, but that's a pretty hefty sacrifice. Commitment of a lot of TPs. Both of your tanky tempo makers died on a defensive move.
It's just like, I think the kind of thing to reflect on here is the way the Yamate is getting caught out. It just seems like he's used, I feel like it's him being used to playing this hero ahead. And now you're behind, and he wants to make these aggressive moves. It's instantly punished every time.
Yes, he did not time that TP right. Like, I can see that you want to come in there, but 2 or 3 seconds later and you're fine. Alright, there at that moment you are not safe, sir.
This definitely should have been an abort, but as a result they lose multiple heroes. Decent amount of chip damage on the tower. And you already see this move coming up from TNC. Ninja Boogie, he goes on a warden run because they know they can roast soon. The Vlad's is almost complete on the Brewmaster. So in the next 2 minutes, expect them to look towards that.
And the Terrorblade is just farming along. Like, they can see him here, but TNC can see anyone who is trying to move in on him, so it's a stalemate. And Net does not have that Blink Dagger yet.
It's just about the runes right now. Net was just trying to grab one. They'll let him have that, but they'll take the other 3 on the side of TNC. They're starting to build a little bit of a gold lead here. It's been a bit shaky, but finally they can look to push more towers. This tier 1 just sitting here, mocking Armel. This Pugna needs to smash into more things.
He'll have no trouble taking it down. And look at them moving in towards the flank. Even Armel's making sure that he moves with his team so that he can back them up if there is a fight.
It's also the way they're moving around him is enabling them to find little bonuses. And what I mean by that is Ohio trying to do anything he can. He's just feeding over Helm with Dominator creeps now. It's not out of choice. It's not him doing something wrong. It's just the way that TNC is stacking.
Yeah, they're being very disciplined about staying in formation now, which we have seen different earlier this day. They're in business mode. What I'm curious about is to see if they're going to be able to keep that up for the rest of the day, because they are not done yet by a long shot.
Indeed, they are not. Gabby takes the tier 2. They'll look to move away now. The question is, do you want Roche? Because Tim's got the goal together. The Vlads will be on his way out now.
Yes, Rior is doing the same thing as before. He stays behind. He kills creep waves with the nuke.
Real's in trouble though. Stop come through. Waveform forward. It's dead. They get a chance to respond. They're going to try now, though, as the TP in. Tim's coming through the clap. Split being committed. There's the Stampede to get him away. Centaur runs north. Raven runs south. They say, I'll meet you on the other side of the town. Raven's still going. He's got the waveform. Cyclone brings him up.
Also up in Yurnan.
They need the gaze. They need to hit the gaze immediately. They've got time this perfectly. And they get it. Raven locked in place with a vacuum turner in Ohio. It's a big one, but no one else there so they can capitalize on it and turn around.
If more heroes would have been there,
that would have been huge. That would have been game turning.
But they need the Centaur for the follow-up, and Centaur was too far behind.
Yeah, he had, like we said, had to go up. He had to go up just to make sure that if one of them died, there was no double gains for the side of TNC.
Yes. So the right move, but unfortunately means that Ohio's intervention is completely useless.
And
Pressure's coming in on this bot tower anyway.
Yeah, that was always coming. I think they just assumed that Morphling was going to waveform away. Otherwise, OD would have tried to get there, I imagine. Like, that's a perfect Science Eclipse opportunity.
Ooh, that would have been so good.
Especially against the Terrorblade, that because he built into this Yasha, you know, he hasn't bulked up. He's not a hench lad.
And I'm thinking that Armel's probably going to go up into the Dagon 2. Well, he could also stay at the level 1, buy a Blink Dagger, buy the Boots of Travel, then level Dagon up more again. I
like the Boots of Travel pickup. Just gives you mobility on your side. TNC, they're kind of educating low tack on how to keep this pressure in the mid game. It's like, all right, we're taking control of the map. We're ahead. We're not going to let up. We're going to build these items that give us mobility around the map so we can constantly find kills.
The first Boots of Travel, which I was going to talk about, are already picked up by Rior. So that he can do the exact same as before, which is be on a tower, defend it, while not being at that much risk himself. They'll have to dive him. And if they don't, he can always glimpse for that bonus skill. So split pushing against this guy, forget about it.
It's not going to happen. Doesn't matter where he is. He'll be there to assist. This Midas build that he goes for, it seems greedy, but it's never really punished.
It's not.
As a result, you can actually just see low tack. They're afraid to split up. They have no clear objective in mind. Partly because they don't have the strongest push. Partly because they are going to have to contest this roast that's now going on. TNC, they move into the pit. Centaur will reveal this.
Is checking.
You get stunned up. How do you initiate on this though? Centaur dead. You know what's going on. If you don't make a move soon, this would have been pointless.
You'd have to try and burst Tim's.
Net does have a blink. Look, he's cutting the trees. Once he gets that tree, he's going to go, but the split's going to come out. They move first. Static Storm on the back foot. Ohio's been caught. He can't make it out. Nice Astral to protect the Cyclone out on OD. In the meantime, they're going to stop doing Roche. Gabby says let's fight instead. BKB comes out. Vacuum's going to be there. The Stampede just take a retreat. There's the Science Eclipse. It doesn't do enough. They just get lit. She's going to buy back straight away. And Chuan run for the high hills. Dazzle already dead. On the back foot, they're going to find an additional. As Net left behind, hung and dry. The Dagon Zap will bring him down, and they will just return to the pit to finish what they started. TNC say no. This is ours, not yours.
I like the little turn back around from the Pugna when you realize that he didn't get the kill.
Well, last hit stick.
Excuse me, sir, you're dead. That's such great movement by TNC. You can see that a lot of times when a hero like Tim's moves off to the side there. It could have been enough that he just split in time already. But with the added wraparound of his teammates over to the other side when they realized from which side Lotak was going to contest was really good. And they just nip any opportunity that Lotak might have around the boat.
Absolutely. As a result, TNC assert their dominance in this game. Aegis on the Terrorblade, no metamorphosis for 60 seconds, but when they have it, you can be sure they'll be looking towards this high ground. There's only a tier 2 remaining in the mid for Lotak. And that should be TNC's next target.
Ninja Boogie should reward right now. And you just have to be careful not to place it in the range of any of the huge amount of sentries that were placed here. Because his previous ward just about avoided it. But right now, I'm seeing pings. Oh,
Jane Frost. Oh, the K's. Ohio. They catch him here. And we have a connection issue. Very good.
So... Alright, on reconnection. Is Ohio alive or is he dead?
We don't know. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
I'm voting dead.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Sort of like. Not sure what happened there.
He's dead. I'm telling you.
Our connection was dead. And he's alive. Alright, that is a story that I wish I had the answer to. Sadly, we do not. I guess it was Hood, then Surge, then run for the high hills.
Probably. but it's a mystery now. We'll
Apologies for
never
that,
know.
folks.
And TNC are pretty undeterred. There's a Metamorph. So Gabby with his Aegis, with his BKB, he is going to be hitting the tower. I would like Armel to stand far aside from him while he also hits the tower. And
You know what that is? That's the Terrorblade knocking your door.
Oh, I thought that was you knocking on wood to not see a terrible...
Oh, they're going for the Terrorblade now. They're getting down to half HP. Astral comes out. John moving away though. Cinderbrew did a lot of damage. Gabby is low, but this is the worst time to think about going back in, because this is a Sunder opportunity waiting to happen.
Yeah, and instead they'll just back off. Orior is going to do his anti-split push thing.
He's ready to get back involved, of course. One of the big benefits of Boots Travel now is the TP. Having a separate slot means you can have both.
It makes it so much better than before. I mean, I think it was an underappreciated item in general already. It is, you only need one person on your team to get it in order to kill pretty much any split push opportunities, because one of the problems that a team always has is that you want to push out 2 lanes and then you can't connect to the third, so your opponent gets the third. But really all you have to do is keep that wave off of your tower. So if you have BOTs on anyone, you can keep one person behind or send one person back without nearly as much.
Kims, they move in with the Stampede, the smoke out of the base. They were trying to catch the Disruptor. They settle for this instead. Sims won't be a good enough target.
But
Ninja Boogie
Rior
tanks it.
once
Ohio just trying to cover the escape. The glimpse back in the Static Storm. The Sunder Switch. Gabby with the BKB moving forward looking for voice. She finishes his target off. Juan with his own BKB forced to walk away. Split comes out from Tims. Now the Shallow Grave with a surge to escape. But the Cyclone on the side. They caught the Morphling. Storm's going to come out onto 2 net. Trying to do what he can. Now the BKB. Raven looking to turn around. Rio getting low. Stands Eclipse down. It's not enough to finish him off. Gabby standing his ground. He'll just run through and kill off the center. Finally, Disrupt is down. Buyback comes out from Centaur straight with the Stampede to allow him to disengage. Raven turns in the Terrorblade. Reflection being used. Gabby out of mana on half HP right now. Astral, Chuan looking to fight. There's the Shallow Grave. They pop the Aegis. Dazzle doing everything he can to keep everyone alive right now. The buyback from Disruptor, he wants a glimpse opportunity. Trying to get involved right now. Yamate's going to try for the TP out. They got the glimpse. They'll drag him back and kill him off. They punish the man that keeps the rest alive.
Those were 2 very good Shallow Graves though. That fight would have looked way worse if they would have managed to get on top of him. But TNC didn't really. They somehow didn't manage to catch the Dazzle, and as a result, they lose their Aegis way outside of any building range. So they can't really capitalize on this marginal win as well.
And they at least get rid of that Aegis, which is the most important part, and suddenly Terrorblade's progress is a little bit stunted. He has to go back to farming. They'll be happy with that, but at the same time, there's always that looming whisper in the wind as he hears the Morphling on the other side of the map slapping away, and Clapham creeps down with his water, knowing he'll eventually catch up. In fact, he is going for a Sanjin Yasha on this Morphling.
I'm guessing he might still disassemble that later, but yeah, for now, he needs to be in fighting shape. And some status resistance is going to do a lot for him as well.
I'm surprised we actually haven't seen some Morphlings, like in games where they don't necessarily need the Mantle, looking at like Yasha and Kaya with the E-Blade. Because it amplifies now. And you can build into it efficiently. But this game, he says, no, need to tank up. Stats resistance. It's useful against some things here. Of course, the biggest concern is always going to be Rio with these Static Storms.
Yes, I'm thinking about the decrep especially. You want to be up in there, you want to be hitting people. You do not want to get Dagon down.
And look at this, TNC. Don't care. No Aegis. Got Metamorphosis. And I don't have to worry about the tap.
And this is the 3rd lane they're going for, and it's very clever, especially if you don't, like, if you have your vision set up like this. It means that all of the resources that the enemy put in trying to deward or trying to kill you before, like fight wards or something like that, are wasted. And you just start again in a different lane.
Rinse, repeat, and actually they're faking backing away. They're going back in. Rio, he wants an opportunity with the glimpse. They can't see it right now. There it is. Going to bring back Net. Kinetic field, no on point, but the Astral will be used to protect him. The split comes out. BKB and Gabby looking for a target to fight with. Stunned up, high down to half HP. Stampede comes out though. It's going to reduce the damage they take. Still trying to fight. Raven, he did turn Terrorblade, has to back away as his BKB ends as well. The Cyclone still onto the Outward Devourer. John, going to escape this, has his own BKB. He's holding on to it. Not forced to use it right now.
Yeah, and this Astral Imprisonment and Sanities combo, they can't actually siege after the BKB is down. TNC. There's no way you risk fighting into that.
That's kind of the crux with these RG heroes against the Outward Devourer. Of course, Terrorblade trying to offset that, building into the Skadi next, getting ever closer. Rosh is up again. Wait, no. The HUD is lying because we disconnected. Deception.
There's nothing there. Armel has finished his Boots of Travel by now as well, so both him and Rior can now freely mop up the side lanes. Get both these rests of farm that usually just sort of die on the side lanes in between creep waves when nobody's there to pick him up.
They're looking for him. They were trying to find Tims because he was being a little bit greedy hanging around. Waveform through. Lotac are wasting a lot of time on this.
Yeah, but
Tims, oh, he blinks away just in time. Rior, he revealed himself. He'll blink as well. The net will connect on to Tims. They get Rior out, and actually Tims is going to get out. They tried to go greedy. They turned around looking for the disruptor kill.
Ooh, that was very costly. And you see 3 TPs back immediately. Lotac knows they need to reposition on the map now. So there's Terrorblade Illusions at their top door. Their mid wave was pushed in.
This is the looming frustration. At this stage in the game, Terrorblade's push by proxy via Illusions is potent.
None of their lanes are ever going to be out again if TNC plays this right.
TNC are trying to make plays on the Armateur now. They got the blink. Tims has got the split in 5 seconds. Oh, Dagon, there's that down. See you later, Dazzy. He couldn't even cast a Shallow Grave. Armel being turned around on. But the reduced damage is big. Frost Shield protects. Glim's back, trying to move them away. Raven, he wants out. Tim's moving forward with the Drunken Brawler. On the other side, though, Centaur, he's a little bit committed here, but Disruptor's just a little bit too tanky. Split does finally come out. Looking for a target. Stampede used to disengage, though. And once again, Centaur heads north.
Yeah.
Morphling heads south.
And he gets to cut away before he dies here, too.
Yeah, he's going to get caught. He hangs around with Armel, but Net is so tanky. He's got the blink coming off cooldown as well. Armel moving forward. No! The projectile was so close. Net will be able to blink away in time. Centaur will make his escape.
Man, oh man. But Rior actually already went to the bot lane. He's like, this is not going to work. See you later.
By the way, Net is stuck here.
He has no TP?
He's got one, but it's 30 seconds away.
Ooh. Yeah, that'll be quite a while.
And he's used a Stampede already, so
I hope
his
he knows
contribution.
the creep wave timing. I think he does, yes. So he'll cut this one as well. But TNC have got the mid wave coming in. They've got the bot wave coming in. They're not particularly...
They know Centaur's not there, though. They see Xion. He's got the BKB. They want to force it out of him. Glimp's going to be there. Astral to protect himself.
And they're pinging it. Yes.
There it is. Bring it back. BKB.
That's the answer to that question.
The Skadi Gabby is just running him down. There's the surge. It will get him away pretty quickly. But Gabby is scary. It is indeed. And now you can just look to poke on this high ground again. Because OD, he can't commit hard.
Oh, the vacuum just missed. None of those heroes hit the wall.
Indeed it didn't. And they'll just chip away at the range racks. And the other important thing is there's no buyback on OD, so he cannot make a risky play. Ohio has to back up. Darkseer getting low. Still has the Crimson Guard. Needs to activate it. Going to try and go in the net. He's gone. Gabby stands his ground. Dodging them out of the mana. Now the Astral out. The Shallow Grave as well. That means Darkseer's stuck here. They're going to be able to get the racks. They might be able to find Ohio as well. Needs to be careful. They'll just back away though. TNC focused on the objectives, not the heroes.
They are still in business mode. That was a very sad moment for Net when he goes in. I'm not even sure if he got to cast a stomp. There were so many illusions on top of him, but even if he did, I'm pretty sure that was a straight up dodge.
And now a DD on Terrorblade. Low tack. They're not going to chance. They assume maybe the room was there because they know TNC go to the pit in a rush, but they got the split available on Tim still and the Static Storm. How do you fight into this right now? Tims needs to be careful. They've still got Science Eclipse. He's tanky. Not that tanky.
And he should keep a hold of his mana.
The Cinderbrew just stopped going in. The split comes out. The damage on Ohio. There's the Astral same again on the backside though. Armel. He goes down. Raven looking to fight here. Finds a kill, but the Jaeger's been claimed. Now the Glimpse back. Ohio trapped in the kinetic field. Stunned up. Darkseer's going to go down here. Just the Centaurs respawning. No Stampede to save his comrades. And Xion being chased onto. Cyclone. No, they found him. They've still got the Shallow Grave and the BKB. They may be forced to use it. Stampede. Trying to turn around the side. Kinetic Field comes down. The Static Storm is not enough, though. The Glimpse back, bringing in Raven. He needs to turn into the Brewmaster, try and tank this up to move away, but the Chain Frost follows him through, slows him down even more. He's got the waveform in 2 seconds, but no mana to work with, and he's dead. They find him. He has buyback, but now they can easily force it. Metamorphosis in 20 seconds.
He waveformed too early.
Close, but no cigar. And with that, look at the creep waves. Look at where they are. The bot, Rio's going to go handle it. He'll be ready to come back, though, with the boots of travel at any moment.
Yes.
We'll try and get some mana first.
And it doesn't really matter, because Gabby's on top of the racks again. And he has to be careful, though. If the Morphling buys back, this could get very hairy very fast.
Yeah, but your Disruptor's coming in on the mid-wave right now. And there it is. Buyback has to be committed right here. Qian taking a lot of damage from the illusions alone, though, just trying to get rid of one. They're going to lose the melee racks. BKB comes from Gabby and net. Taking too much damage. Shallow Grave used on him already, the Astro as well. Just to be able to cover him. Ohio trying to move and looking for a vacuum opportunity. He's pretty deep, just being ignored. The Dagon zaps down the center. Now the vacuum dragon to him, but Gabby stands his ground with the Metamorphosis still going. Qian with the BKB. Trying to fight against Sand Clips. There's eating the cheese. He switched it out. Gabby, balls of steel here. Doesn't even want to expend the Jaeger just yet. He says, let me keep range attack, and Qian getting low. Skadi isn't slowing him enough, though. He'll be able to move with his Thunder switch around. Yamate's already dead, and now Raven, no!
Oh, no.
He gets caught by the gaze and dragged in as GG gets called. Game 3, TNC building the lead 2-1.
I am just not convinced by the Darkseer pick into Terrorblade. This is the second time that we see it, and the second time that the wall doesn't do enough as long as he saves the reflection.
That is the big issue. Is like you saw the movements. Low Tack have taken this kind of composition that would frost hard into you, and Terrorblade, it's like a wet dream, right? Like this, I've been arguing for a long time. Terrorblade late game, you pick up a Blink Dagger to just initiate.
Yes.
Why do that when they're coming to you, right? It's like, oh, that's a slot saved, another item I can build.
And they had this very engagey lineup, and once again, I don't think they made enough out of it. There was more tempo to make here. There were more opportunities here. I think it was harder this time around because of the big presence of Armel, as well as the fact that especially Yamate seemed to lack some confidence in this game. I think the laning stage really messed with him.
And you always saw them double layer the protection. Shalgrave, immediately Astral. It was like they were just not, like they were screaming at the same time, I'll save him.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now we have Neva. We need to disengage. Whereas TNC, it's not just a Decrepify to offset sources the damage. It's also that Frost. Like the Frost Shield is absurd from Lich. Especially when you get to that stage in the game. It is flat percentage reduction.
It's crazy. And they made really effective use of the gaze as well. Like, you could see that they were always saving it for the right moments. No spam, no Lich risking his ass to, gaze someone just because he had the spell and someone was in range.
No, he especially kept saving it for Raven. He's like, I got my eye on you. He's like, I can't look away. He's just dragged in, and even when he was strength morphing up, it didn't matter. But that does mean that TNC now in the lead. That's right, best of 5, not decided yet. Normally, this would be done, dusted, TNC through. Congratulations, psych. It's a best of 5. They 1 game up. If they win the next game, they qualify to the Katowice ESL event. But they have to win that first. Low Tack, they have an opportunity here. They're going to have to sit down, reflect, go to the drawing board, say, what's the master plan? And we're going to sit back, reflect on Twitch chat. That's right, Twitch chat. Not Facebook, Twitch. And then we'll be back very shortly. Stay tuned, folks.